They were patriotic and seen in post offices, train stations, and businesses. War posters were everywhere during World War I and II.
And now you can check them out in a new exhibit. Rhonda Moore joins us live in Dayton with all the details. Hey, Rhonda.
Good morning. Yeah, we're at the Dayton Art Institute, and they have dozens of World War I and II posters here. And joining me now is Michael Rittinger. He's going to talk about what you'll be able to see here. First of all, how many posters do you guys have?
There are 80 posters in this collection from the Reading Art Museum in Pennsylvania. We're honored to bring them to Dayton, and it's called Call to Duty World War I and World War II posters.
Okay, and then talk about why you guys decided to put this on, especially starting on 4th of July. That's unusual, right?
It is unusual. We're not usually here on a holiday, and we thought it'd be a wonderful way to kick off the patriotic time of year. We've selected this because Dayton is a military town, and this goes back to our roots, but it covers every base of service. And it talks about things from those periods of buying war bonds, how women were involved in the wars, how children could be active, and what we as a nation can come to do together, even with victory gardens at the time.
Now, I know some of the posters, you have Norman Rockwell posters.
Yes, we have the Four Freedoms from Norman Rockwell series that he did during World War II. There's also people named Flag, artists named Flag, and others that people will recognize, even that famous one that you showed earlier, Uncle Sam, We Want You, or I Want You.
And they have different themes in the rooms. You have different themes going on with the posters as well.
Right, and that goes back to what we were talking about, that there were these whole movements during the time, victory gardens, how families could be involved, how people could stay home and not take a vacation and help the war effort. Everything you can think of that was happening at this time, and they're sectioned that way throughout. We're excited that also in this we're partnering for the first time with the Air Force Museum right here in Dayton, so you'll see things from their collection in the exhibit as well.
Yeah, we'll show some of that a little later. All right, if you're interested in coming out and checking out the World War I and World War II posters, you can check them out here at the Dayton Art Institute starting on Saturday, 4th of July, and going through October. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Rhonda. That should be fun to check out this weekend.
A lot of stuff going on this weekend.
There is.
It's just one of the many, yeah.
And see the active roles Americans played during World War I and II.
They're captured in posters. Rhonda Moore is live at the Dayton Art Institute, where dozens of originals are on display. Good morning, Rhonda.
Good morning. Well, the exhibit is called Call to Duty, and there are more than 80 original posters here. Now, I want to talk to Amy DeGallen, and she is the chief curator here. All right, you guys have some really neat posters here, and they have a lot of different themes.
We do, and they are organized by themes, and so some of them are every civilian a soldier. Some of them are dealing with atrocities and war bonds. And I think that people will really get a sense of the history and this moment in American history that was so important to all of us in where we are today.
And I noticed a lot of them are about sacrifice and like giving up food and different things like that.
I think one of the biggest surprises for me is that how they were enlisting everybody. So not just soldiers, but women and children. Everybody of every age had a role and could play a role in supporting.
Now, walk over here a little bit, because I know that you guys are also having an exhibit in conjunction with the Air Force Museum showing off some of their things.
We did.
Tell me about this. This is really neat.
It's fantastic. It's the first time our institutions have ever partnered, and so we borrowed a number of objects from them. This helmet on the end here was worn by a nephew of Orville and Wilbur Wright. So it's really special that we're able to showcase it. This is the man case, as our designer calls it. It's so funny. There's some inert, especially important, inert shells here in the foreground. And then a really grisly trench knife that was used in World War I. So much of course, World War I was fought in the trenches, and they had these knives that, I mean, it really gives you a sense of how close the combat would have been.
And I know that you have a whole lot more other things.
We do. We have a lot more
more
items in the exhibition from them.
And quickly want to talk about, you have some stuff from the White House and from one of the presidents.
We do. We have a number of signed photographs by various presidents, Harry Truman, FDR, Omar Bradley, very important five-star generals.
Okay, so a lot of good stuff.
A lot of really fantastic period artifacts.
All right, so along with the posters. So if you're interested in coming to check out the Call to Duty World War I and II posters, the exhibit is on display starting Saturday, 4th of July, and going through October the 4th. It's here at the Dayton Art Institute, and we'll be back at 8:50, and we'll show you some more posters. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Rhonda. A great place to take your children over the weekend to learn some American history, just in time for the holiday.
Absolutely.
Well, 2 new exhibits and one place focus on past World War wars.
They open just as the country celebrates Independence Day. Rhonda Moore is live in Dayton with some of what you'll see starting the 4th of July. Rhonda?
Good morning. We're at the Dayton Art Institute, and normally it's not open on holidays, but they are making an exception for this exhibit. It is called Call to Duty, and there will be more than 80 World War I and II posters, original posters that you'll be able to see. And joining me now is Amy DeGallen. All right, she's the curator here. All right, you guys have some really neat posters here. Tell me why you guys decided to put on this exhibit now.
We're within the 100-year anniversary of World War I, and so we thought it was the perfect time. It's also the 70th anniversary of the close of World War II.
All right, so this one here behind you, this is neat. This is one that you said is representing...
She's the personification of liberty, and her name is Columbia, named after the Christopher Columbus, and she was really dropped as the female personification once Columbia Pictures introduced her as their icon and also the Statue of Liberty in the 1920s.
All right, so you guys have another exhibit that's going on also. Talk about that real quick.
We do. Cincinnati-based photographer Jane Alden Stevens has World War I Remembered. They're photographs of World War I battle scenes and sites, and it's a very powerful ending as a memorial of sorts to soldiers.
And who do you think this exhibit will appeal to?
I really think young and old alike. I think it'll allow people an opportunity to tell stories from the past. Also, I think graphic designers will love the bold colors and the strong visual impact. I think really something for everyone is in this exhibition.
People who love history, people who are interested in the military, and maybe even people who served in the wars as well.
Yep, I think there are a lot of well-known artists too, so Norman Rockwell, people names that they'll know. I think so art historians will love it too.
All right, sounds good. Well, if you're interested in coming to see Call to Duty, World War I and II posters, the exhibit is on display starting Saturday, the 4th of July, and going through October the 4th, and it's here at the Dayton Art Institute, and I want you to come check it out.